From grade A to a bunch of collabs, to the reveal of a bunch of interesting GRs collabs as well as new models, May was definitely a pretty packed month for New Balances. Welcome to this month's episode of Best New Balances of the Month. As usual, I'll start off the video with all of the New Balances that were officially released during May 2023, and I'll end off the video with all of the New Balances that were revealed or leaked during the month of May. A major part of May was grade A 2023. There were a lot of shoes for grade A 2023. It was a lot better than grade A 2022. It included made models, it included a new pack of non-made models, as well as some performance models and the return of classics, and I go over all of these shoes in my grade A 2023 review video. I'll be sure to leave a link in a little card pop-up right here. Now that grade A is out of the way, first up we have two 860 V2 GR colorways, one of which is a white and black colorway, and the other one is a triple black colorway, both of which are simple and classic colorways for the 860 V2. If you really love the 860 V2 and weren't able to get the ALD collabs, I think both of these colorways are pretty solid choices. And next up we have the return of the 990 V4 in the core gray colorway. This surprisingly wasn't part of grade A 2023, but they have slowly returned to some various sneaker boutiques, and they'll probably get a wider release on newbalance.com, so be sure to keep an eye out on them if you really love the classic gray 990 V4. Starting off the collabs for May 2023, we have the ALD 1906R collaboration. I think this is a pretty solid collab. Unfortunately, it seems like it was pretty limited and is now reselling for a decent amount. That being said, these dropped right after the 860 V2 collaboration, and it's basically the same colorway as the green 860 V2. They share the same midsole, but the uppers are pretty different, but I'm sure even the most diehard ALD fans could easily settle for one of the two. And next up is the first of three Dtlr New Balance collaborations. This one dropped during Memorial Weekend. It is the 2002R Lovers Only collaboration. It's a mostly gray upper with hits of black, red, and blue. It's a pretty solid colorway. I personally didn't really care too much for it. I do like the 2002R. I think the colorway is solid, but I personally didn't go out and buy it. But if you do really love the shoe and haven't picked it up yet, you can still do so because it is still sitting. And next up we have two ALD 550s. Both consist of suede uppers, one of which is a brown colorway and the other one is a tan colorway. At this point, I've lost track of the amount of brown and tan 550s ALD has came out with. I'm not too sure if this is even the first release of this shoe or this is just similar to another brown and tan 550 pack. I don't really care about them. They're fine shoes. I'm sure they're great quality suede. I'm getting really tired of covering brown and tan ALD 550s. And next up we have the Palace collaboration on the Made in UK 991. Both of these colorways are really fire in my opinion. I think both of them are great. One of which is similar to the 2002R Incense and Heliotrope colorway. It's mostly tan and you get hits of lavender and blue. Then the other colorway is also pretty cool. It's like a dark gray with purple and hot pink. They're both loud colorways, so you guys know I'm big fans of them. And what's nice is that it seems like there are still a decent amount of pairs in sizes left on both New Balance and Palace. So if you really like this collab and are still hesitant, you still have a chance to cop at retail, albeit retail is pretty steep at $260. Next up is a Beams collaboration on the 2002R Mule. You guys know me, I think mule shoes are kind of stupid, and I don't really like how it just basically ruins a good silhouette in the 2002R. It's just an all-white shoe. I don't really get how this is a collab. I didn't really care for it, but apparently it dropped during May. Next up, we have a Junya Watanabe collaboration on the RC30. This collaboration pack consisted of three different colorways, all three of which are very loud and just multicolor, which I think is pretty cool and is very different from typical Junya Watanabe collaborations. Apparently these actually dropped in April, but then had a wider release in May. You can get them on overseas boutiques, but they haven't really gotten a wide release in the US yet. But regardless, I think it's a pretty solid collaboration on the RC30. And now I'm going to go over all of the New Balances that were revealed or leaked during the month of May. First up, we have the 990 V6 in this really nice pink colorway. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, I say it all the time, but New Balance always kills it with pink shoes, and this 990 V6 is no exception. I definitely need to pick this up once it officially releases. Balances. This shade of pink on the V6 looks so good, and it's yet another V6 I'm gonna have to add to my collection. And next up, we have some first looks at some upcoming Teddy Santis pairs. The first being a white and green 990 V4. This is a pretty simple and clean silhouette. It's mostly white, you got hits of green. You also have the option of green laces. I think it's a rock solid Teddy Santis GR for the V4. And next up, we have a nice white and tan colorway for both the V6 and V4, both of which look pretty great. They're nice neutral tone pairs. They both have that low-key heat vibe to them, and I really like them. And next up, we have a first look at the New Balance 997R silhouette. I've actually seen this silhouette months in advance. Now I can finally talk about it since it does kind of have a more public leak. A lot of people that originally saw this with me earlier on in the year just did not like it. A lot of people were mostly mad at the fact that we're not just getting the classic Made in USA 997 back. I personally think this silhouette looks okay. I actually kind of like it. That being said, I would have definitely preferred if they didn't just waste time and resources on this new silhouette and instead just brought back the classic 997. I don't know why they can't just bring back the classic 997. I think just like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they had plenty of 997 GR, so I don't get why they feel the need to make just a random new variant of the 997. Like, we have the 997 Sport I really like. The 997H is like the Asian made budget version of the 997 silhouette. That had some decent colorways, but I think most people, including myself, just would have preferred the classic 997 to return and not just another spin on the iconic silhouette. And starting off for the collabs that were revealed during the month of May, we have 2 upcoming Dtlr collaborations, one of which is the 9060 in this glow colorway. It looks really cool. It's kind of a low-key heat type of shoe. You got some small hits of color, but as the name entails, you got glow-in-the-dark midsoles. As the name entails, you do have a glow-in-the-dark outsole, as well as glow-in-the-dark hits on the upper of the shoe. I think this is a pretty cool spin on the 9060 and is definitely going to be an interesting collaboration. The next Dtlr collaboration is a kids exclusive, unfortunately, on the 990 V4. It's called the Wild Style colorway, but they already made a 990 V4 collaboration that was also called Wild Style. I don't know why it's called the same name, but this is going to be releasing during the back to school season. I really like this colorway. Like the other Wild Style colorway, I wish they made adult sizing. Unfortunately, this is just for kids and it's not even made in USA, which is kind of a letdown, but it is a really fire loud colorway regardless. And next up, we have the full official look at the Bodega 610 that's coming out early June. This has got to be the best colorway on the 610 by far. Bodega always kills it with the trail or unusual silhouettes, and this is no different. I think Bodega was the perfect collaborator for the 610. I'm trying to watch my spending on New Balances, and I'm trying to just stick with Made in USA shoes, but I think this might be the exception of that. I think I might have to grab myself a pair of these Bodega 610s because this collaboration is just really fire, and I think this collab might be a contender for one of the best collabs of the year. And next up, we have a teaser for a new Stray Rats 574 collaboration. It looks like this collaboration consists of 3 different shoes, one of which is like a purple and fuchsia and blue colorway, the other one is like a dark green and pink colorway, and then the other one is like a navy and red colorway, all of which consists of like 2 base colors with 1 accent color. I think the colorways look pretty solid. They all look like they consist of hairy suede as the main material, which you guys know I really like, and it looks like a rock solid collaboration from Stray Rats on the 574. I feel like this collaboration is very reminiscent of most of Stray Rats collaborations, and while I don't think it's going to be that popular, I think it's a solid collaboration pack nonetheless. And lastly, we have a new ALD 650R collab in this white, UNC, and gum colorway. I think this 650R looks really fire. I love the gum outsole and the contrast between the white and Carolina blue. I haven't been really interested in the 650R retro ever since it initially came out. I think this collaboration with ALD is very rock solid, and I really like how different it is from typical ALD collabs. So what were your guys' favorite New Balance releases or reveals during the month of May of 2023? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. Check out the Intelligent site for more New Balance content and guides. If you really loved the video, please consider leaving a super thanks in the tip jar below, and thanks for watching.